awesome sauce. Hello, everyone. This is Awesome Sauce Radio. I am your host, Blind Wonders, the comic pimp. Welcome to another episode of Awesome Sauce Radio. Uh, Tonight, we're going to have a very, very, very sexy and special guest. But before we get to her, allow me to thank my sponsors and give some shout outs. First, I would like to thank Exotica. The Exotica Expo is returning to Miami at the Airport Convention Center. For all your info for the sexiest convention on God's green earth, please go to www.exoticaexpo.com. Tell them Bot Adam sent you. Also, I'd like to thank Bad Dragon. Bad Dragon is the official adult entertainment toy company of the Awesome Sauce Radio program. Whenever we use toys, we go to Bad Dragon, because they got them all. So go to www.bad-dragon.com. I recommend the cock rings, because any cock would yeah. And Bad Dragon, they got the best cock rings. Cock ring. In brightest day, in blackest night, no vagina shall escape my sight. But those evil vaginas who warp evil's might, beware my power, the cock ring, Green Lantern's might. Testify, bad, BAD-DRGON.com. Also, I want to give a huge shout out to Tanya Tate at Star Factory PR. Tanya, thank you for supporting the podcast and for arranging the interview. If anyone in the industry needs a publicist, go to Star Factory PR. Star Factory PR is amazing. www.starfactorypr.com. Tanya Tate, thank you again for arranging the interview. Now we're going to bring in the sexy, but talented Jenna Starr.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yes. So, can you please tell my audience who you are and what you do?
Well, I'm Jenna Starr, and I am a adult professional filmer, top 1% OnlyFans creator, and also an Instagram model. So, social media nerd.
Nice. How did you get started in the industry?
Long story short, I had my own business in Texas for 5 years, and I wanted to start making money online so I could move out of Texas. And so I had started building my Instagram account during that time. Then I had started my OnlyFans. Then COVID hit.
So you started your OnlyFans before COVID?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was definitely a thing in works and that I was doing, because I remember thinking, well, if I can make money online, then I can move out of Texas, because the business I had was clientele base, and I would have to rebuild my business over again in a new state. So while I was doing my OnlyFans, I had a team in LA I would go and visit with, and they would just help me out with my content and putting it together. And then Brazzers came to me later that year and asked me if I wanted to, if I'd be interested in shooting with them. And if it went well, then we could discuss further shoots. And then here we are 2.5 years later. And again, I'm shooting with them a top ad scene. The 21st coming up here, less than a week.
That's awesome. And I believe it's one of those 3 browser shoots is the most downloaded thing in browser's history, if memory serves me correct.
Yeah, 2021, it was me, Kaylee Gunner, Kyle Mason, our 3-way. I think it was the slutty, scrunchy lookalikes.
The slutty wives or whatever they call that. I know it was like slutty something. I think we were
roommates. We were the slutty, scrunchy lookalikes. So we were roommates.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I think that, Kyle was supposed to be, I don't remember if it was her boyfriend or he was another one of our roommates. Yeah. No, it was my boyfriend, and then I created the threesome, I think.
Yeah. So why is it like working with browsers?
Oh. It's great. I've worked for other companies now, and I was very blessed to start off with MindGeek. It really gave me a good start from a lot of stories I hear from a lot of other girls that have been in the industry a really long time and how it was before. And then, when they had to work for a lot of lower end companies and that kind of stuff. So I say it's great. I get there. They've got, lunch and, someone always there to help you. They have all the products you need on set. They're very patient. They take their time. And I think MindGeek really puts a lot of energy into making their talent feel appreciated.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
What's it like working with Mike Quasar?
Oh, he's a great friend of mine. He's great. Okay, so he has a dry sense of humor, and I do too. So we just joke the whole day, just like really dry sense of humor. And, maybe if other people get offended, I don't know. I think it's funny.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You know, it
Yeah.
sounds
He's
like
one of,
you're.
huh?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just going to say he's one of my more like favorite directors. Just, fun. Fun.
That's awesome. You're also on Oil Fans and Fansly?
I have accounts on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, basically, I was asking because I was wondering, out of all the different platforms, like what, actually works best for, putting content up, basically.
I mean, so far for me, just because I'm running all these accounts, it's really hard to, keep adding accounts to it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so far for me, OnlyFans has been the easiest to use, and I've been on there for so long that I just know comfortably how to maneuver with it. And then I've actually just started a Sex Panther, which has been pretty cool because the thing that's different about Sex Panther is that they have their own people to push you to, whereas OnlyFans, when we got on, there was no. I mean, you just had a link people subscribed to. There was no like audience for them to push you to.
Oh,
So
wow.
all that work, I had to do myself by marketing myself
Mm-hmm.
relentlessly.
I have a lot of friends in the industry that are on Sex Panther, and unfortunately, Sex Panther does not work well with adaptive technology for the site in Paris. I have never had a chance to use it yet.
Um, I mean, I thought it was pretty fun because the thing for me is that I mean, I haven't had a problem with it. It's that whenever I have time, I can hop on. And because they're pushing people and they're pushing me, like, they're pushing you that you can just hop on and then you know that you're going to be promoted. Whereas, okay, so if I'm not on there and I'm not working it and not building it every day, nothing's going to happen and it goes down the drain. And then you lose connection with your fans and then they don't take you seriously. So that's the difference for me in that. And, I've heard a lot of good things about the other platforms like X videos and the loyal fans and all that. But it's like, I got to sit there and like, do all that all over again. And it's just, I got a lot of things going on.
No, I hear you. I hear you.
So,
Do you still do customs?
yeah, I do a lot. So a lot of my sales is custom videos and video calls. So, and then I do lives. I got back into doing lives a few months ago because, I had a lot going on last year. So I have my free account and then I started my VIP a month ago, which is doing like really well on OnlyFans. So now I've, managed to, I've got that subscription now. And then, the fans that I really want to pamper, they're going over there. So makes it a little bit easier on the workload on me.
Okay, so if someone wanted to order a custom from you, how does that process work?
They go to my VIP. I switched it now. I used to have that on my free where it was all PPV and you can get on there and you can ask me for those things. But I've got almost 100,000 fans on there and it's kind of hard for me to get to everyone.
That's
So
understandable.
I came up with a new concept in reverse of what everybody else was doing. Now that I feel like it's going to be very beneficial for me now, it makes sense since I've built up the other account. Now people have a reason to subscribe to a VIP versus when they didn't know me or anything about me. It would take a whole lot more longer to build up that fan base.
Yeah, that makes sense. And the VIP is for the OnlyFans?
Yeah. So instead of being on the free, and then there's just a lot of freeloaders on there, people who've been on there for years, and most of the time they're people who are rude. And they say a lot of mean things. And then, if I was doing my lives on there all that time and, I've got like all these people viewing and only so many of them, and it's like the same guys, which would be like your VIP guys, are tipping and hitting the goals. And then you have all these people, like freeloading on it. And then they're also saying rude things. So, I did that for so long. Now it's built up a lot and it's like a lot of like kind of an overload. So now I'm just, adjusting the ropes.
That's awesome. So do you do any of the conventions like the Exoticas or AVN or?
I went to AVN and it was it was a lot of work for me, like mentally, and I don't really like go around a lot of people often. I barely go out into public, myself. So being around all those people is a little difficult. And that's the only one I went to, and I've just kind of kept it that way so far because it took a lot for me to kind of recover from that.
You're right. It is a lot, especially if you get busy during that event.
Yeah.
It was busy this year.
Yeah, I definitely had a lot of people talking to me, and it's great. I love my fans, and all that is awesome. It means my hard work is paying off, but it was just overwhelming.
Now I hear that it's at least you can see what's going on. Like I said, even my sighted assistant I had with me, she was just like, "Wow, this is like pre-COVID level."
That's what I've heard. That's the only one I've ever been to, and so.
So I heard you were nominated for a couple things at ABN.
Yeah, most amazing ass, and then hottest newcomer.
Nice. So is Amazing Ass a new category, or has that been around for a while?
I have no idea.
All right, same here. As I was going through the notes that Tanya sent me, and I'm like, wait a minute, I don't remember them having this category.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Sweet. What advice would you give to newcomers?
Um, this just isn't meant for everyone.
No, true that.
And that's what I would say is this isn't meant for everyone, and it's definitely like an ego-driven industry. And I think that if you're driven off of your ego, and not really like work with goals and using the money and everything to accomplish something greater, it's just not for you. It's not a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
It is what it is. There's going to be people who are below you, better than you, way better than you, and letting that get to you. If you're like a sore loser, It's not a good idea. um, if you don't know how to think mind over matter over the drama and, and not beat yourself up or your looks because you don't look like someone else or whatever, it's going to be like really hard. So it's best to just focus on your work every day, like what you need to do and what the next thing is, and try to avoid like the drama and paying attention to too many people and what they have, just focus on you, because it's really easy to feel like insignificant when you're always watching everyone doing stuff. So that's what I would say.
Beautiful. What new projects do you have coming up besides the one you said for Brothers?
Several of them. I'm trying to remember. I just did another top ad scene for Reality Kings last week. And then I know there's a couple of other scenes I did. I can't remember. Yeah.
What's it like working with Girls Way?
With the who?
Girl. What's the company in Canada? Girlfriend Films.
Girlfriends Films. Oh, it's cool. It's girl. So
Yeah. Sorry about that.
I like a girl. So it's great.
Sweet. Yeah. What is the craziest fan experience you've ever had?
Still to this day, this was when was that? It was last year sometime. I think it was early last year, so it was like over a year ago. I was staying in Oklahoma, and a fan had stuck a note under my hotel room door. That was still the most interesting, even though I've had a lot more people recognize me. Even when I was in Bahamas, I had a lot of fans, and people stop me and, say hi and stuff like that. But that one was just like crazy because
Someone just left a note underneath your hotel room door?
Yeah, I still got it around here somewhere. I think it's in my other room. Yeah. It's like, hey, Miss Starr. I was a little starstruck, but I saw you come in last night, and I was like, if you need anything, I'm in room whatever. And I'm like, why does this sound like somebody who works there? And I'm like, because the only way you would know what room I was in, because I always watch to see people are following me, because they do. That happens. Like they try to follow me to my room or hop on my elevator. So I always look so they, don't see what room I go in and whatever. I don't know. Too many stories out there. So I was trying to figure out how this happened. And then I had remembered, well, the only time I saw people was like the night before when I came in from doing a photography shoot. And I only saw two guys, and one was behind the desk, and he just didn't seem like the type. But then I remembered someone had like passed by behind me really quick. And so I go down to get coffee, and I'm like looking around like, okay, are they down here? So I'm getting my coffee, and then this guy just pops up right here, and he's like, hey, I hope I didn't scare you. Maybe I hope it wasn't too weird. And I was like, that was you that left the note under my door? I was like, yeah, that was really creepy. And good thing I was leaving that day, because that just threw my anxiety into like a whole,
Hang on a second. Amazon stop. So do you have any type of etiquette you would, like your fans to abide by if they see you in public and want to come up and say hello?
Just say
that's like one of the, to be honest, that's like one of the creepiest fan interactions, both in adult entertainment and mainstream entertainment, that I've ever heard.
Yeah, so interesting things usually happen to me. So some stuff like this probably would have happened before to me, and it just I've kind of always had weird things happen and been like followed and chased around and weird stuff like that. It's happened to me since I can remember being a young girl. But now it's like really alarming because I think I'm just like fully cognizant, like, okay, we just don't know, what their intentions are. Like, when people are staring at me, I don't know. Why are you looking at me like that? Are you looking at me like that because you recognize me, you think I'm attractive, or you think that you're gonna like grab my purse or something? So I think that like fans don't realize, like, when you're like creeping around, the girls like feel like they don't their safety might be jeopardized. So it's easier just to walk up and say, "Hi, nice to meet you. Can I get a picture with you?" Like, I was just in the Bahamas and I had a guy do that, and I posted it on Twitter. So he was really nice about it. He was really, really starstruck. It was cute. And he was cool about it. Didn't creep me out. I'm like, okay, I actually didn't believe him that he like knew who I was. I thought, because kind of how people like will hit on me a lot. So I was like, what movies have you seen? And he was like, the one with you and the other blonde girl on the red and yellow balls. And that was, yeah. And I was like, okay, so he really does know who I am. All right. Cause I was like, I'm going to call his bluff and be like, what movie have are you seen? Because before I got into this and all that, and people would tell me like I looked like a porn star or I looked like a model or somebody famous, and it just kind of like also is what led me to where I'm at. And so I'm just kind of like, are you just saying that? But yeah, that movie was actually with Brazzers as well. And that was me, Kaylee Gunner, and Manuel Ferreira that he was talking about. So I was like, okay.
What's it like working with Kelly Gunner?
She's cool. She's sweet. She's super hot. I like
I know
working
her
with
work. I know she was at you were. I went to try to introduce myself at AVN or one of the other events I was at last year or this year so far, and I just haven't had the chance.
Oh, well, I'm sure you might be able to figure it out in the future.
Yeah, definitely. But, what are some of your favorite things to perform on camera?
Probably deep throat, writing, because these are like things that like every time I get on camera is when I practice. So, I just practice like, I can feel when something's off or something, like something's right or wrong or awkward or, so I don't really like sit around like, oh my God, let me practice riding this dick,
Mm-hmm.
So anyways, yeah, I would say riding, different positions of doggy, like the side. I like to do a lot of twerking. That's
Nice.
fun.
And this is a question from one of my audience members who will be watching this on when it goes up from Calamity Collectibles. He wants to know what's better to perform on camera, hand job or blow job?
Oh, definitely a hand job.
Really? Why? I normally get you're the first person in the
I
history
mean,
of the
I'm not gonna like be
hand
one of
job.
those like, oh, I'm a goat throat.
Yeah,
But
no.
I am pretty good at that, so they say. Boys like to say that everything's great, right? Um, well, I feel like because it's like I have more control, and I guess I am better at that than I thought I was, and
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of practice in that area, I guess.
Ah, cool. Are you into anything nerdy?
Huh?
Are you into anything nerdy?
Nerdy.
Comics.
I like, to me, what nerdy is like more of informational things. Like I like science and space and the universe, and I love to watch like documentaries. And then I definitely feel extremely nerdy being like a social media like guru.
Mm-hmm.
So it seems like it's kind of like playing a game, but except this game doesn't stop, and you keep hitting
Yeah,
these
it
different
seems like it
levels.
never does.
It never stops, and you can't stop. Once you start, you can't stop. So I figured that one out pretty quickly, because then everything starts going backwards when you stop. So you gotta keep going forward. And if you need to kind of stop, you have to have a plan for like putting yourself into limbo, which I do. That I'll never tell anyone. I have secrets.
I myself,
Yes. For the world, yes. Since you all want to know, yes, I have secrets.
Can you just give me like 1 second?
Sure.
If you can make a porn parody of any TV show or movie, what would it be?
A parody. Like of the same TV show?
Yeah, if you were gonna make a porn parody of a TV show or a movie.
Gosh, the only thing I can think of really quickly would be like Walking Dead.
Nice.
Yeah, because it's like that whole like you're not supposed to be having sex because you're supposed to be distraught, and you're out in the middle of nowhere, and everything's kind of like off about it, but at the same time it's like, well, duh, you're gonna get horny even if the world's falling apart with zombies.
True.
And then there's newcomers that come in, and then somehow like you end up fucking one of them, and
zombies need to get fucked too.
I would probably put like that in there just to fucking do it,
One of my friends actually came up with the term zombie hot, so yeah.
Yeah.
Where can my audience find you online?
Google Jenna Starr. No. My Instagram is ms Jenna Starr with 2 R's. And then my Twitter is Jenna the Star with 2 R's. And then my free OnlyFans account is jennathestar.com. And my VIP for my special little babies is Jenna Starr XXX.
All right, cool. I will definitely check that out because I actually may want to get a custom made.
Cool! Yay!
Yeah, I've seen I do something on the podcast called Bedtime Stories where I take before I actually film my scenes, like with all the sex acted out in them. I like to like all my friends in the industry that do or people I have out on the podcast who've done costumes. I mean, how much will it cost to just have you dress up in a cosplay costume and read this? So I have a few things that I've done like that before.
Yeah, I've had people request that, but it's usually like a costume or mainly personalized. They want their name and like different things or whatever, or pictures and.
Yep. All right, cool. So everyone, please follow Jenna Starr, and Jenna, I thank you for your time today, and I wish you the best of luck with the rest of the year.
Well, thank you. I hope you have a great day and a year.
Yep.
All right.
Take care.
You too. Take care now. Bye-bye then.
Well, everyone, that was Jenna Starr. Please follow her. Once again, I'd like to thank Star Factory PR. Tanya Tate, thank you so much for setting the interview up. This was a blast. To some of the distractions that happened towards the end of the interview, I apologize. Once again, I'd like to thank my sponsors, Exotica Expo, www.exoticaexpo.com. Please check them out. Bad Dragon, www.bad-dragon.com. Once again, check out Star Factory PR, starfactorypr.com. Remember, you don't need sight to have a vision. It's not what happens to you, it's what you do about it. Keep one foot in the gutter. Once it's the goal, Love you all. Beyond.i out. Awesome sauce.